You work on that and I continue. We use the home monitoring telemedical platform. This is an implant-based telemedical technology. So the patients received either an ICD, an implanted defibrillator, or a CRT ICD that was equipped with home monitoring technology. Home monitoring technology detects automatically biological signals, heart rate, the occurrence of arrhythmias, the onset of arrhythmia, the onset of shocks and ICD therapies, and transmits these signals automatically on a daily basis via a cardio messenger to a centralized monitoring unit. And this is one of the keys of the in-time trial, that the data from all patients that were included in the trial all over Europe were analyzed, centralized at Heart Center Leipzig. So we enrolled 700 patients, 660 patients were randomized to be followed up with automatic home monitoring telemedical applications compared to standard medical care. Patients were on optimal medical therapy, 90% diuretics, 90% beta blockers, 90% ACE inhibitors, or angiotensin receptor blockers. 60% of the patients received a CRT-D device, 40% received an ICD. The primary endpoint of in-time was the modified PECA score, which is a combined endpoint that looks for death, that looks for worsening of heart failure, and that also looks for deterioration of heart failure as evident from overnight hospitalization for heart failure. This again shows you the workflow of the in-time trial. It's really crucial. When you apply telemedicine, you have to work with very, very advanced technological platforms with a high degree of automatization. This shows you, again, the randomization. 664 patients were randomized. There were no crossovers during the whole course of the study. PECA score was significantly different between the two groups in favor of the home monitoring arm. That means that fewer patients died, had overnight hospitalization or worsening of heart failure that were supported by home monitoring as compared to regular care. This is all-cause mortality, which was the secondary endpoint. All-cause mortality was a little bit higher at 12 months follow-up than 8% in control patients and was reduced to 3.2% in the home monitoring arm. This is a highly significant reduction of all-cause mortality. One of the additional outcome parameters was cardiovascular mortality. And again, we had a highly significant reduction of cardiovascular mortality in the patient arm that was supported by home monitoring, as evident from this multi-center, prospective, randomized clinical trial. So I would like to conclude this trial by saying that patients that are supported with an advanced telemedical applications that have advanced heart failure despite optimal medical therapy significantly benefit from home monitoring. This is evident by a reduction of worsening of heart failure, overnight hospitalization, and most importantly, total mortality. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This study is now open for questions. I can't help but say it's a positive heart failure trial.
There's one.
Yes, back here.
Dharam Kumbhani from CardioSource. I'm sorry if you mentioned this. Were these all were all the devices of one specific manufacturer, or
Yes.
were they? And which one was that?
The whole platform is supplied by Biotronic company. So all implants were Biotronic implants that had the technology for automatic home monitoring.
And can you comment a little bit on the differences? Because I know all the home monitoring systems are slightly different between the different platforms. Can you comment on what And there have been trials with some of the other platforms as well. Can you comment on what might be the reasons between the differences?
Well, looking to Biotronic home monitoring, we have to recognize that it's, at least to me, the most advanced telemedical platform, implant-based telemedical platform that we have. There are several huge trials that have been published, the TRUST study in the United States, very recently the REFORM study in Europe, showing that the chain of information with this platform works very, very well. Involvement of patient is not necessary. All the patient has to do after the implant has been put in is to plug in the cardio messenger. And from that moment on, and this is really important, everything works very, very automatic. There is automatic detection of the signals, there's automatic transmission, so the patient has to do nothing. And this is one of the difference to most other telemedical applications where patients are involved. Whenever you involve patients, it is the likelihood that the chain of information, which is crucial, does not work appropriately is very, very high. I remind all of us on the last telemedicine heart failure trial that has been published in New England Journal of Medicine, where the adherence to the study method was very, very poor. And after 6 months, I think only 50% of the patients actually used the telemedical application. With this application, everything is highly automatic and you have very, very short time windows. The messages are generated automatically, transmitted automatically, are analyzed, centralized, and then appropriate action can be taken. And you can go back to the physician and you go back to the patient in order to change something, in order to improve the outcome of the patients.
Thank you. Question up front, please.
Thank you. Shelley Wood with theheart.org. Given that this was centrally monitored, how applicable would these results be to other clinics using this? Would it be easy to get the same results?
Well, that needs to be shown. The workflow has to be installed accordingly, but it is not that difficult because of the high degree of automatization. It's very, very easy to handle these data. I mean, we have more than 1,000 patients at Heart Center Leipzig in follow-up using home monitoring. We have specially trained staff, nursing staff, that go to the websites and analyze the patients. The patients are in electronic folders. You don't see the patients without any events. You set the event triggers according to study protocol or according to individual needs and requirements of the patients. And then the patient that had events that you would like to see, they pop up in the morning and then you take appropriate action. It is not that difficult due to the high degree of automatization and the short timelines of data transmission. So it can be easily copied.
Any further questions? Thank you. I would remind you that there are 2